This is part 2 of the common checkmate patterns. If you have not seen the part 1, then link will be given on the comment. You can click on the link to see the part 1. Corridor mate is reached when the enemy king cannot escape from the check because it is trapped along a rank, file or diagonal, which is corridor. So let's have a simple example first. This is the position. Now B file and D file are occupied by or controlled by the two rooks. Now king just moves here to C4 and the king cannot move anywhere. It's a checkmate. We'll have a little complicated example from a game. This is the position. Now white is to play. See what white plays now. Captures A6 pawn. Okay, so king has to capture it. Then rook goes to A3 and check. King goes to B6. Bishop to A5 check. So king goes to A6, only position available. Bishop goes to C7 and check by the rook. Queen goes to A4. Now rook cross A4 and checkmate. This is along the corridor. The king is checkmated. The diagonal corridor mate is a situation where the enemy king cannot escape the specific diagonal on which it is being checked from, either a bishop or a queen. This example is from the Magnus Carlsen game. Carlsen is playing black and see what he has played. View the situation. So he played bishop cross G2 check. King cannot take the bishop. It's supported by rook also, it's supported by the queen also. King goes to G1. Rook cross D2 check by this bishop. Now only thing is that queen can come in between, but that is a dummy move. Queen comes in between and bishop cross F2 and checkmate. So the king cannot escape from his situation. Cogio's mate or dovetail mate. This checkmate pattern happens when your enemy's pieces restrict their king's escape squares and your queen comes in to finish the game. Let's see examples. This is a position in one of the games from actual game. White used to plays bishop cross G8. Now rook takes that, rook cross G8 and queen to F6 and checkmate, dovetail checkmate with the queen. Other squares are restricted by one by the rook, one by the pawn. We'll go to next example. This is a position. White to play. So see what white plays. Queen cross F5. King goes to E7 and queen to F6 and checkmate. Again black kings moves are restricted by the rook and the pawn. So this is dovetail mate. Dominoes mate is a checkmate pattern where a queen and pawn or a bishop coordinate their efforts against a castle king. Let's see some examples. This is a position white queen has given a check to black king. Obviously black has to play, so he moves the king to f8. White plays f6, threatening the bishop. Black plays e cross f3 here, he takes the rook here, which is the wrong move. Of course you can think of some other move. And queen cross g7 and it's checkmate with the queen supported by pawn. Let's see one more example of this dominoes defense. This is the position white is to play here. See now what white plays. Plays rook to h8, check, knight cross h8, and queen goes to g7 and it's checkmate with the help of queen and bishop. So again dominoes mate. Mate is a checkmate pattern characterized by the fact that a humble pawn checkmates the opponent's king. Pawn checkmates the opponent's king. Let's see examples. Now here there is a check to the black king, so obviously black has to move. So black moves the king to f4. White plays bishop to g5, check. Bishop is supported by the rook. King goes to g4 and h3 and checkmate by the pawn. Let's see next example. Here there is a threat to the queen, so queen will move. So queen takes the rook here. So g cross h3 and g2. Black plays g2 and this is checkmate by the pawn. This diagonal is threatened by the bishop. So this is David and Goliath mate. Epaulette mate is a checkmate where a king is prevented from escaping check by its own pieces. Let's see an example. Here white is to play black king, the rook and pawn are preventing the moves of the black king. They are blocking h7 and h5. Now white plays queen to f6 and is checkmate. Another example. Here also almost the same thing. Lot of squares are blocking the king's movement. Here mate in 2 is there. Rook cross h5, g cross h5 and queen to f6 is checkmate. So this is Epaulette mate. Fool's mate is the checkmate delivered after the fewest possible moves from the game's starting position. Generally the beginners get trapped into this fool's mate. Let's see some examples. From the start of the game, white plays f3, so opening this diagonal. Black plays e6. Then white plays another mistake by playing g4 and queen to h4 is checkmate. Checkmate. King cannot move anywhere. We'll see one more example. Now here white plays g4, black plays e5, white plays f4, and again opening this diagonal, queen h4 and checkmate. So this fool's mate. Greco's mate occurs when the enemy king is trapped in a corner with the help of a bishop. It is a great example of how a rook and bishop can coordinate to deliver checkmate. The example from the game is here. Black is to play, just see the position. Black plays bishop to a4 and creates a battery of queen and bishop. Rook to d2, white plays queen to a2 and check, sacrificing the queen. King cross a2, then bishop to c2, check by the rook. Now only thing he can do is put this bishop in between. So bishop to a5, rook cross a5, and is checkmate with rook and bishop. Let's take another example. White to play here. Now black queen is threatening the white queen, wants to exchange, but white plays queen cross h7, again sacrificing the queen. King has to take the queen, then white takes rook to h3 and check. Now queen can come in between queen to h4 and rook cross h4, and this is checkmate again with the bishop and the rook. So this is Greco's mate. H-file mate is not a checkmate pattern by itself. It's a fairly common attack method in chess. This is to destroy the pawn shield in front of an enemy king, often with a sacrifice. This leads to various other checkmate patterns that become possible as a result of the open H-file. This is an example from the game played by Nasdorf himself. This Nasdorf is playing black. This will start from this position. This is the 9th move. So Nasdorf captured this pawn, bishop cross h2. No support, king can capture. But then again, lot of attacks will be possible. This knight will go here, attack, and all that. So white didn't capture the bishop, moved the king here. So plays knight to g4, supports the bishop. Plays f4, queen to e8, g3, queen to h5. She has destroyed all the castle of the white and attacking on the h-file mainly. Brought the queen on the h-file. King goes to g2, bishop to g1, knight cross g1, queen to h2 and check. King f3, e5, d cross e5, knight cross e5, f cross e5, knight cross e5, king to f4, knight to g6 and check. King goes to f3, f4, e cross f4, bishop to g4 and check. Now this again is not supported. So king cross g4, knight to e5 and check. Then f cross e5, and he moves the pawn h5, and this is checkmate, attacking from the h-file. So we end our part 2 here. Thank you for watching.